Alright, let's talk about the ultimate get out of jail free card. The phrase we use when we hit rock bottom and we need a quick way to climb back onto our moral high ground. It's not a confession. It's not even a defense. It's a declaration of immunity. At least, I'm a good person. Oh God, look at the weight of that. It implies that your actions, well, the actual tangible things you do to the people, don't matter as much as this horror of goodness you think you carry around, huh? No, mate. It's the most arrogant thing we say to ourselves. As if we have a spiritual savings account that we can overdraw whenever we feel like being a prick. And the balance somehow always stays positive, so? And we don't use it when we are doing well, no. No, we use it when we've been caught. When the mask slips and someone finally says, "Hey mate, that was actually pretty fucked." And instead of looking at the wreckage, now we point at our essence. "Yeah, I know, I burned the house down, but look at my heart, it's glowing." It's the ultimate conversation killer. Because once you declare yourself a good person, well, you're essentially saying that anyone who criticizes you is just being mean, or toxic, or unreasonable. You're not just right, you are holy. And the best part? Well, you convince yourself that being good is a permanent state of being, rather than a choice that you have to make every single second.
Unfiltered outsider. Unfiltered outsider.
Alright, hello again. I'm glad you're still listening. Or maybe I'm not. Anyway, if you're still here, it's probably because you're tired of the saints in your life, huh? Or you finally realize you're one of them. Anyway, trust me, the saints are the most dangerous people in the room tonight. I'm Noah. And look, let me start by saying that I'm right in the gutter with you, alright? I've spent plenty of nights convincing myself that my vibe is more important than my behavior. Too many. I've used my own niceness as a silencer for the people I've let down. I'm a fucking hypocrite, huh? But you are a hypocrite too. The only difference is that I've stopped pretending my hypocrisy is a healing journey. Think about the silence we use. We call it giving space or not having the energy, but let's call it what it really is. A refusal to be inconvenienced by someone else's reality. We stay quiet, we pull away, and then we tell ourselves we are being the bigger person by not starting the fight. Yeah, but you're not avoiding the fight, you know that, right, mate? You're just leaving the other person to drown in the confusion you created. And then comes the empathy trap. We've all done it. Well, at least I've done it. We listen to someone we've hurt, and instead of actually hearing them, we start explaining how bad we feel about what we did. Yeah, we turn their pain into a stage of our own guilt. And then we make the comfort us for hurting them. Oh yeah. And if they don't, well, then they are the unreasonable ones, right? Because a person like you is clearly suffering so much from your own mistakes. It's a masterful way to stay a protagonist of every single tragedy you cause. Think about the sheer entitlement of a good person label. We treat it like a lifetime achievement award we won in the kindergarten, you know, I'm a good person. Alright, based on what? Based on the fact that you haven't murdered anyone today? Or based on the 3 months of loyalty you gave someone before you decided they weren't serving your growth? We've created this culture where intent is everything, you know, and impact is nothing. Oh, I didn't mean to hurt you. So technically I shouldn't be hurt? Well, it's a logic for children. If I step on your foot, it doesn't matter if I was trying to dance or trying to crush you, right? Your foot still hurts. But no, good people spend hours arguing about the dance, while the other person is still bleeding on the floor. We use this goodness as a shield against growth. Mate, real growth is painful, It requires you to look in the mirror, and normally it requires to say that you were cruel, selfish, small. But why when you can just say, I'm a good person and feel better instantly? It's a sedative for the soul, huh? And let's talk about the polite lie, Because we tell ourselves we lie to protect people. Oh, I didn't want to break their heart. I didn't want to ruin their day. Bullshit. You didn't want to deal with the fallout, You didn't want to be the bad guy in their story. So you gave them a beautiful lie that they will have to untangle later. Alone. I know, being a good person in your head is easy when you can control the narrative. But have you ever stopped to wonder how many people have a version of you in their head that is absolutely unrecognizable to you? People who don't see the horror but only the cold, hard trail of broken promises and half-truths you left behind while you're busy being kind. Let's talk about the good person curriculum, Because we love the easy wins. Posting the right thing on the social media. Giving a €5 tip when people are watching. Being there for people only when it's convenient for our shadow. These aren't virtues. They are performances. They are the bonus points we use to offset the moments where we are actually being terrible humans, I'm a good person, so it's okay if I lie to my partner about this one thing. Or I'm a good person, so it's fine if I treat my employees like shit because I'm stressed. And trust me, mate, I'm once again right there with you. Fuck, I am. We are constantly bartering with our own integrity, We treat our morality like a frequent flyer program. We think we've earned enough miles to take a free trip into being a complete asshole. It's this moral accounting that kills us. We think because we did something good, we are now allowed to do something that is toxic. We treat our relationship like a transaction where we already paid the bill. So now we can just showing up. But integrity isn't a bank account you can drain, It's the floor you're standing on. And right now, most of us are hovering over a void. Clutching a handful of good intentions like they are going to save us from the fall. But here's the cold hard truth. Nobody cares about your essence. Nobody lives inside your intentions, The people in your life live with your actions. And if your actions are constantly shitty, then your good person badge is just a piece of plastic you're wearing while you burn your bridges. I'm done preaching for today. Today was a hard one because it made me see my own reflection in the mirror, so that hurts. But I can feel your ego starting to itch, I know. You're probably thinking of all the reasons why your situation is different from mine. But no, I'm really a kind person. People always tell me I'm so nice. Yeah? Maybe they're just afraid of what happens when they tell you the truth. And before you go back to being the light in everyone's life, well, I want you to do something. Think about the one person you've hurt the most in the last year. Yeah. The one who actually called you out, Remember how you reacted? You didn't listen to them, probably. Maybe you defended yourself. You told them that they were misinterpreting you. Or maybe just use a reputation as a weapon against their feelings. Now, for once, drop the act. Go to the Unfiltered Outsider socials at Unfiltered. I want you to send me the real reason you haven't apologized to that person. And don't give me the I'm processing bullshit, alright? Give me the truth. I'm too proud, or I'm afraid to being a bad guy, or I value my image more than our friendship. Doesn't matter. No context, no excuses, and no long stories about your inner child. I don't care about your child. I care about the adult you're failing to be right now, so just the raw truth. And if it makes you feel like garbage, well, good. Garbage is exactly what you've been feeding the people who actually care about you. Why are people like this? So, see you next time. Or don't. You will probably just tell yourself you're too good for this podcast anyway. Uninfluenced, Unpaid, Unfiltered. I'm Jackman, and this is the Unfiltered Outsider.
Unfiltered outsider. Unfiltered outsider.